Wow, a whole town taken by cookie zombies. Well, too bad I don't have a physical body, so they can take me. What gives? Didn't I just talk about the fact that Season 6 hurt some characters so some other characters can be improved? Because that's what happened here, pretty much. Again. The first few minutes are pretty much a highlight of this theory. Well, at least this time it's only one character, although the other side is also not without a guilt. You know, I might have some compassion for Rainbow Dash few episodes ago, even though she brought some of the troubles onto herself, but this time I think she actually deserved that treatment. She pretty much went too far with some of the jokes, and I'm not talking about the first one where she pranked Fluttershy, because you can argue that on one hand even Pinkie said way back in season 1 that Fluttershy is too sensitive, but on the other hand we've all seen how much her character has grown up ever since that. She is still sensitive, but instead of running away to her cottage and cry for a week, she brought all her friends to confront Rainbow Dash and her idea of funny joke. Too bad that it didn't went as they all wanted. I have to admit that the cake and the mud morning were actually funny, but the rest of the jokes not so much. For Cranky, all those tomato soup will cost him a small fortune to clean that stench. Similar to Mr. Cake and his dentist bill. Big Mac? That wasn't funny, that was dangerous for him. And Chili, that's the opposite of effort, that was an overused school kid joke. I'm still not sure about Spike because, well, that was an effort, but it probably cost him a lot of energy to send all those scrolls, and once again, poor Celestia is a victim to Dash joke. So yes, I think she deserved it. Also, am I the only one who thinks such behavior is not appropriate for a Wonderbolt member? You know, because one member can give labor to the whole group? Anybody? Okay. However, we just have to look on that medal from both sides, and the other side is, that's the type of character Rainbow Dash is. If you challenge her, she won't reject it, because otherwise her ego would suffer a lot. This is different from the previous episode, because there she forgot how to teamwork with Skurlu. This time the only factor was the fact that she went too far with her pranks. However, the rest of the main 6 are also guilty. Like I said, you challenge Rainbow Dash, she will accept it. And while they've been trying to reason with her, they put it in a wrong way. Pretty much they dare Dash to go even further with her jokes, which they immediately realized, but it was already too late. In my opinion, the main 6 are as much guilty as Rainbow, or maybe even it's their fault that she went too far. The only stable character here is Pinkie. Although she didn't directly encourage Rainbow to keep pranking, she was still stroking her ego saying how funny that Fluttershy prank was. Yet when things came too far, even though she was under pressure and acting against herself, she tried to reason with Dash once again. And I think even Pinkie knew that joke cookies are a bit too much, because that might have indirectly harmed the CMC. And when the reasoning failed again, it was Pinkie who organized the big plan to give Rainbow the taste of her own medicine. And when I look at this episode, I also see that Pinkie was kind of a restraining element for Rainbow Dash back in the Griffin to brush off. Just remember how much Fluttershy was sensitive and easy to scare back there, sometimes even too much. So Pinkie stopped her from doing that prank. Yet, to further defend Dash in this episode for pranking Fluttershy, despite the Griffin to brush off, Pinkie actually done similar thing in Philly Vanilli when she didn't consider Fluttershy's sensitivity. Backing up to present episode, I will once again give credit to Pinkie and say that she put an effort into this whole zombie pony prank. I don't know if it is a callback to Bridal Gossip, but I will say, even though I knew what's going on, I had delicate chills on my back and a big smile on my face. Even the weather was favoring them, making the whole zombie apocalypse atmosphere. But that's where also starts the common complaining. The episode is predictable. One of the factors is the fact that we've seen this plot in Mysterious Mare-Do-Well, another common argument. And the fact that something like zombie ponies, even though they were hungry for cookies, not the brains, would not pass the censors, even though things like distant cousins shipping or body pillow did. But let me put it this way, there are predictable episodes and predictable episodes. What's the difference? One is predictable in a wrong way, so you just don't enjoy the episode or find it to be boring. Another is predictable but still enjoyable. That's the case here. This episode was enjoyable with all its predictability. One thing that I'm not gonna touch deeper is the Mare-Do-Well 2.0 complaining. Yes, both episodes work similar, but not the same, and this time it was done better. Everyone were talking about all the similarities, differences, and why it helped this episode, so there's no need for me to repeat all of that. I did say that this episode is predictable but enjoyable, but did I enjoy it? Yes, absolutely, and in fact it's one of my favorite episodes personally. However, I would say this episode is better than, say, Spice Up Your Life, but it's not one of the best of this season. Main reasons are predictability and Rainbow's attitude. I would also add the main four because it's kinda their fault for not being precise when talking with Rainbow the first time and pressuring Pinky to do what they all should do. However, I'll admit that some of the jokes Dash pulled off were funny. Pinky was pretty much a star of this episode in my opinion with her creativity, which resulted with referencing the classic zombie movies, although I will nitpick that some of the zombie movie elements are classic to the point of being cliché. Yet, other than that, I really don't have much to say negative about this episode. The message was okay, I just don't have much to say about it. I agree with the fact that you need to think twice before you prank someone to not hurt that person's feelings. I don't know if any and how many people dislike this episode, but in this case I think the episode is worth watching and is good and enjoyable. I'm Sharpwood, and why I'm suddenly craving for cookies? Thanks for watching.